So specifically with the World Chair, what did you use to build on from the other chairs you've created, knowing that simplicity was obviously a key concern, as it seems to be with all the designs that you work on. It seems sometimes that simplicity makes things more difficult to design, at least in a good way.
Well, there's a couple of old-fashioned terms I used. One of them, in terms of visuals of a design, is restraint. The other old-fashioned term is efficiency. Now, efficiency was around and answering a lot of our needs long before this focus on the environment. And if one makes one's approach to design to be efficient, it includes all of the factors needed to be environmentally responsible. So efficiency has always been top of my mind, doing more with less. So it's a tough job. I couldn't sit down and with a thunderbolt from the god of design suddenly know what to do. It just took me years of practice and focus to get rid of anything that was not necessary to accomplish the worthwhile goals of the design. And that World Chair comes closer than the others, though the others are very good chairs, and efficiency played a role by some pruning, dropping some features that were more complex than I felt were needed for the type of chair. I could reach a new level of efficiency.
It seems like that would be difficult to do. I mean, in your head, it would seem like adding more or giving people more control would be a positive. But you've really done a great job in kind of driving it down. Is it hard to change your mindset to get away from, I need to give people more, and say, I need to give people less, which will give them more ultimately?
Oh, well, you got your description backwards. I want to give them more. I just want it to be done with less. I want less material, less complexity, less challenge to the user, less of everything they don't need, and just give them what they want. Now, my chair, the World Chair, reclines in the same way all of the advanced chairs attempt to accomplish. It reclines to the same degree as my other chairs. It does it differently and somewhat more simplistically, but it still accomplishes the same goals. But it gets rid of a whole bucket full of machinery. You look at most of the other advanced task chairs, they've got all of this machinery underneath the seat, And I say to myself, that's enough machinery to fly an airplane or something. You don't need all that. So I just made it my goal to get rid of it.
What's the reaction been? I know it's early today, but you've shown this at Orgatech and other places. What's the reaction of people when they use the chair? Are they surprised by how it functions given its simplicity?
This new chair?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that many people use it now. I mean, it's had 2 exposures, one in Germany, and here it's just starting. But generally speaking, I think that somewhat to my surprise is they are quite moved by the appearance of the chair. It strikes them as being very accommodating and simple and handsome. And now that may sound offbeat for a designer to say, but in reality, I don't make a big focus of that. In other words, I'm not saying to myself, how can I start a new trend? How can I seduce people by the looks of the thing? I make it as good looking as possible, but it's not a concentrated effort. I don't even know what it's going to look like until I've worked out all of the mechanisms and tested everything and assured myself that the function is there. Then I begin to focus on the looks. So my feeling about the chair now is that it probably does what I intended with people, and that is it does not overwhelm them with being something new or trendy or seductive. I would be a lot happier to have it just be appealing and compelling and not overdone. As I said, restraint is very important in my mind. I've watched products over the years, and there are many, many products that get a lot of press, that are very appealing or seductive to people, and everyone wants one. And in a couple years, they're no longer in vogue. I've watched other products that don't get a lot of attention. They are very quiet, and after many years, they're still around. And I can name names and I can name products in this way too. So to me, it's more important to stick around. That's part of efficiency. It's also a great part of the environmental situation. Obsolescence is a dangerous thing if you're trying to be environmentally prudent.
Well, thanks so much for the time. I certainly appreciate it.
Sure.
It was a pleasure.